a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with their opponents. 3-0 versus 0-3. Will current form hold? We'll find out as we're off in Week 4. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. There on first down gets 3 up to the 28. This defense for the Vikings, they were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And not a whole lot doing there, as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Able to find Isabella. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
A first down carry by Elliott. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Next, the receivers helped spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. And I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's got his big tight end here. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run. And let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sends his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are out in the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold him to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
They'll run with Cook. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Back to throw. They'll set up the screen for Nwangu. Touchdown! Kene Nwangu. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Extra point attempt to follow here. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. From the pistol, here's Elliott. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. They run out of the gun with Swift. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. A give to Elliott. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's able to pick up the 1st before he's taken down at the 27.
3rd and inches, they just hand it to the big battering ram there. That's football 101, isn't it? That's bread and butter. Turn around and hand it to the big fella and let him get forward for a 1st down.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Touchdown! A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Black Knights are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Kene Nwagu now out of his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Here's Riddick. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And this one complete to Smith. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Touchdown, Vikings! A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now back to throw. And he's got Ezekiel Elliott. And he will have the 1st down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They're going to look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown! A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Black Knights are an extra point away from drawing level. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On play action, they'll throw. Steps away to his left.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off near the 32. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, you don't want to coach him, Charles, to stay in the pocket on every play, but I guess that's the danger of getting outside of the pocket, extending a play, and making a bad throw. Turns into 6 points the other way.
Yeah, sometimes when you get outside the pocket, your vision actually gets obscured a little bit, or you narrow it down too much, and you don't see all the defenders in the area.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and the lead is now 21-14. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Well, we'll see if they can do it here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible. So I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
No gain on the screen there at 2nd down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Now Riddick. across the 45. They went counter there offensively, and a couple of defenders were on skates for a second.
They certainly were, and you know what offensive linemen love about the counters and the misdirections? Sometimes you don't even have to block the defender. He can run himself out of the play if he doesn't read his keys properly.
Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Now here's a timeout, as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Julian Blackman. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positive.
And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. And he is finally out of bounds all the way down at the 30. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
46 yards rushing for him now to this point.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On the ground, it's ready.
And this will be a Vikings first down as he'll get this up to about the 42.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. On the jet sweep, here comes Jefferson. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. He'll drop to throw. Setting up the screen for Cook. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
They'll set up a throw.
Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Back to the ground, Cook. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. They'll set up to throw. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off at the 28. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Tough one there. First drive of the 3rd quarter, throw an interception, and now a chance that they could be in even a bigger hole if they can convert this into points.
Yeah, but how good do you feel if you're that defensive coordinator right now? Because you just know that the head coach looked at him and said, turn him loose, big man. And he'd be able to take a few extra chances playing with this type of a lead, and boy, it paid off.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the 2nd half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them, because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
They'll look to throw here. And his throw here's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And Elliott trying to work his way forward, but it looks like he did not make it. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now Cook running right. And they'll get him down up past the 15. 66 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
With a carry. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15.
4 yards on the pickup. It'll be second down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And a nice run to get this up over the 20-yard line. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
A couple of extra defensive backs in the ball game here on 3rd and 6.
They'll drop to throw.
To the right side and complete to Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
As they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. A give. This is Cook. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
2nd and 6. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Well, throws like that, especially where we sit in the 4th quarter, he's got to be careful.
Yeah, and you know one of my faults is that I often view this game through a defensive back's eyes. And in this situation, your team's losing. It's late. Tighter coverage. Take a chance and go and try and step in front of one of those and make a big play. So if you're the quarterback, that should be in your head. This is their time to take a gamble.
Looking to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Fortunate to get that football back. As trailing here in the 2nd half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity because it could have been lost there. Their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
Bowden now to return.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell him to take care of the ball, and try and move forward.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. They'll try the right side with Elliott. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So holding there on the return, and that'll back him up to start the next drive.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression, jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Dio Odangbo. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Second and 16. Handoff comes to Cook. Runs through the contact. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Back to throw here.
He'll get this to Nwangu.
And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a 1st down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
He'll look to throw. But his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 33. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Black Knights might be headed to the win column for the first time this season as they add on to their lead.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Pressure comes, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
Well, we've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Buying time to his left. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert. And they turn it over. First down, Elliott, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They go to Elliott again. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll get it with still 1:20 left to go in the game.
They tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on 3rd down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on 3rd down sometimes. It can pop big. In this case, it didn't.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. This to make it a 3-score game late. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's going to go for a big play downfield.
And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the 4th quarter here, trying to preserve the lead.
Second and 10.
That should do it. Picked off near the 34. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Again, it's Elliott. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for our visitors, it took a few weeks, but they finally get their first one of the season here in Week 4. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the defense